welcome back to another After Effects tutorial, and in this one I'll teach you how to create audio spectrums or audio waves in After Effects without any plugins, just like the one you are watching beside me right here. So let's begin. So in case you don't know what audio spectrum is, it's basically the audio responsive lines kind of thing that you see in certain videos. For example, that's what I use for my podcast, and there's one episode, so check it out depending on when you're watching. Besides that, let's first get the layer, the composition ready, and then we'll move on to adding the audio spectrum. In case how I did the dual tone effect you are watching here, there's a detailed video or detailed tutorial on that. You can check it out. I'll add a card as well so that you can find it easily. It's on the channel. Once you have the composition ready, we will add a solid layer. The shortcut is Command Y in Mac and Control Y in Windows. Don't worry about the color of the layer, because once we use the audio spectrum on it, the color will become invisible unless you specifically want it to be present. There is a way to do that as well, but other than that, the color doesn't matter. Now we will head out to the effects and presets section, and then there you can directly search for audio spectrum and audio wave, or you can drag down to the menu and you will find the option of generate. And if you go to the drop down of generate, you will find two options, one for audio wave and one for audio spectrum. Now depending on which one you prefer, you choose one of them. For example, I'm just experimenting with the audio wave now, but then I'll move on to audio spectrum as that's my preference. With the audio wave, just like audio spectrum, you will get several options to customize it from the control menu, the effects control menu for audio waves. In that you will find display sample, which is the number of waves, maximum height, which is the height of the wave at its highest. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then there's inside color, outside color, the thickness of the wave, etc. Just play with it till you have what you need. And then let's just move on to audio spectrum, since that's what we're focusing on. Now let us move on to audio spectrum. It's exactly the same method, and I'll be using the audio spectrum I created on my podcast for a reference, because I've already experimented in that and I know what settings I need. And other settings you need depends on what you prefer. You can experiment from the audio spectrum menu, such as the softness, inside color, outside color, the hue interpolation, etc. Now there's one important part of the setting, which is the audio layer. In that you will find that the audio layer has the source it has itself selected as the source by default. You have to change that from the drop down menu to the layer from which you want the audio sampling to come from. In this case, I'm using the convo layer, which is the conversation I had with my guest, since that's the only layer with audio and that's the audio I want to catch. It depends on your composition, the project, but I guess you get the basic idea. Well, that's pretty much the tutorial. Now we can just play with the settings till you get what suits what you need. It's pretty easy, as you can see. You just need to know where to do it from. That's pretty much how tricks work. And if you want to, you can check the podcast I did this for. I would love that. It's on the channel, of course, and a few other podcast channels. Well, that's it.